Hi there and welcome to episode 8 of the Justice for Johnny Freight Train. This week we got my second celebrity guest, Club Buddy Rick, who's going to turn the humble sausage into a gourmet sausage roll. But before I introduce him, in a little montage of who is Alison, if you recall.
My favourite part, John.
Favourite part, Alison, this is about pictorial representation of the owner of the kindest, most caring voice in the universe who helped me when I was down and out. Now, I can't remember where we got up to, but during a conversation, she did say to me, John, I cannot have a relationship with you. Well, I didn't want to have a relationship, I just wanted a friendship. So what did I say to her in return? This is what I said. Alison, you have 3 negatives which would preclude you from having a relationship with me. There was silence. I said, you're too young, too pretty, and too smart. She said, ah. More later. So, Club Buddy Rick, come on board. So,
G'day, John.
there mate. This is Rick. Now, this is a survival show. I tell people survival show. How do you survive? You survive with your mates, your family, your friends. I was lying in bed, I found a few more F's. I said faith, I go to church, food and fun. There's a bunch of F's. We're going to talk about females. So, we met, of course, Saturday afternoon. I thought I'd go to the club, have a couple of wines, watch some races, and I wouldn't be in the house by myself. There'd be a bit of noise around me. So I tootled on down to Wyong Leagues Club, and upstairs in the area where there's a lot of nice people, and there's this gentleman sitting by himself, quietly reading the paper, and I landed something like
minding his own business.
Minding his own business, and I landed something like
Do you mean Club Wyong?
No, that's in Wyong. That's part of Mounties. That's part of Mounties group, yeah. It's the Wyong Rugby League Club. And so I walked in and there was Rick quietly minding his own business. I thought, I landed like a Russian missile on Kiev, and he didn't know what hit him. Was like, hi. Anyway, we've been chatting ever since. Rick goes in for a couple of beers, reads the paper. I annoy him with some conversation. We go back forward, chat. And it's good. It's nice to have somebody you can talk to. He made the mistake of saying he can cook a beef Wellington. I thought, ooh, you can be on my show. But that's a bit complicated, and you have to use, apparently, the right mushrooms, otherwise dire consequences. He sent me a photo. He did beef Wellington last week, sent me a photo. I was very envious. I think I had something lousy from the freezer myself. So it's pretty darn good. But he said he can do a couple of things. I'm going to get him back later to do a cottage pie, but today we're going to do sausage rolls. Gourmet sausage rolls, I call them. So Rick, what do we need? A sausage.
We need a sausage. Okay, here I've got 3 sausages that I got from Woolworths. They are, I think, from memory, sweet chili chicken. I tried them last week and they're quite nice actually, quite nice. These are virtually skinless, you don't have to worry about the skins. If you do get skinned sausages, just slip them with a very sharp knife and peel the meat out of them, just throw the skins away.
Mm-hmm.
Ready bought puff pastry, once again Woolies, Pampas I think this is. 1 single sheet for this little exercise here. A beaten egg, once again, Woolies egg.
Pre-beaten.
Pre-beaten
Yes.
with the
You can't buy them
You
pre-beaten.
don't buy them beat, you've got to beat it yourself. There's some things you really must do yourself.
And yes, we did the old joke about egg and beef. We won't go into that.
Other than that, that's all the ingredients you need. They're very, very simple. Pastry, sausage, beaten egg. The beaten egg actually holds the pastry together and also gives it a nice golden tone when it comes out of the oven. Oven, fan force, preheated to 200 degrees.
Yes, you will need an oven.
Yes.
And
Although you can do them in an air fryer.
what is exciting with this is, with Rick here today, I'm actually using the bigger bottom oven for the first time in 2 years. First me, my son-in-law has done pizza in there, so I did remove some of the dead remains of pizza from last year. But it's fine, it's good, it's a new oven.
Okay, we shall start.
So, while we're waiting for that, one of those lights to go out, we'll know that's right. So,
Now what we have here with this pastry, because the sheets are separated by plastic, you've got to get the plastic off to a degree, otherwise you won't be able to roll it. So just leave it hanging over the side there. don't leave the pastry to defrost too long, otherwise it'll go like chewing gum and hot concrete.
Especially on these
So
humid days.
we're going to do 2 sausage rolls today, but we'll cut them up into individual pieces like party pies. So split the pastry in 2, like so. And now the fun starts. Grab a sausage, put it in the pastry, like so. Measure off, probably use another half sausage. Whack it on the end there. We'll trim these later.
The maestro is
And now,
blending, you put them together. Beautiful.
this is when you start rolling. You'll be very careful at this point, because if the pastry hasn't defrosted enough, it'll snap. If it's defrosted too much,
Would hold that down.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind, John, just roll it over like that. Good, 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 good. Fold it down like that. You can either tuck the pastry underneath and roll it right over. Just one way of doing it, but if you do it this way and then get your fork, you can put a nice decorative on the end there, which among everything else means you get a lot more pastry for each bit of sausage roll and a lot more crunch when you get the beaten egg onto it. Now at this stage, baking tray with baking paper on it. Now start cutting up at this stage just to get this one out of the way. So I reckon we'll go for 4 out of this one, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
So sharp knife, like so, that's 1, 2, 3 and 4. So there.
Like this is brilliant in the kitchen. If you wanted to cut that into 5, because you just went half and half,
Yeah.
I used to take measure.
Okay, but then again, if you want to do party size, you can cut these in half again if you want
Yep,
to.
okay. But we're doing adult size.
We're doing adult size.
Putting our big boy pants on and
Right, so that's
that's the first one.
one done.
Yep.
Yeah, very easy. You can do these in your sleep actually. So just peel that bit of plastic off again, give it a bit of a head start. Like so. Excuse my bald head, I hope you're not getting glare in that lens.
It's out of camera right now.
Okay, now, there goes the next one.
You said they were sweet chili.
Sweet chili chicken.
So,
But you can use any sort of sausage.
yep.
A lot of the gourmet butchers around here, can I plug one? Plug a butcher?
Yep.
Murphy's and
Yeah,
Wine.
maybe they'll
Murphy's
sponsor
Wine,
it.
Excellent at the plaza.
Murphy's and Wine Plaza, they do a range of sausages,
Yep.
different flavours, including game sausages. I mean, you can get boar sausages there.
I
Which is
have
quite
in my
amazing.
freezer some lamb, honey and pine nuts.
Yes.
Also have the chicken, corn and honey. They're in the fatter sausages, but they're really nice. Murphy's, that's 3 shops I think, but the one at Wyong's closer for me.
Yeah, I think there's one at Chitaway too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take my finger out of the way, that's
Yes,
it.
I don't like fresh blood in my sausage rolls.
Hang on, we doing ready for this, Joe?
I know.
Watching? Thank you.
Do it again, John.
Now, what sort of sauce would you apply with this? Being Australian, do we have tomato sauce or we barbecue
Well,
sauce?
actually,
It doesn't need any
Oh,
sauce.
the ones I had yesterday, I found a bottle of Beerenberg's chili sauce in the freezer, in the fridge. Sorry.
Right.
And I just heated them up in the air fryer because I already cooked them about
Okay.
a week before. These are the leftovers. And I just heated them up in the air fryer and dipped them into the chili sauce. And it's not sweet chili sauce, it's chili sauce.
Chili
It's got a
sauce.
bit of heat to it.
Okay.
And mate, they were just absolutely delightful. Just cut that bit off, looks a bit daggy. Food's got to look pretty.
That's right. It's
Otherwise-
presentation, isn't it?
Otherwise you don't feel like eating it.
Yep.
Unless it's a beef Wellington, of course, in which case it doesn't matter what it looks like.
But then it all ends up in the same place.
Yes. It always looks worse when you finish with it. This pastry is just at the point where it's becoming useless. It's getting that soft, so
Right.
we got it just in time.
So,
Right.
Tech Buddy Adam, does this included in your diet? He eats funny stuff.
Oh, the pastry isn't.
Bad luck. That's more for you and me. Are you going to eat one?
Oh, I might have one.
Okay. That's much more for you.
Now for the messy bit, the egg wash. Just slop it over the top. There's always an egg wash left over, but if you've got a dog, the dogs love it with their food.
She's outside.
Yeah, she's probably listening too, is she, John?
She's at the door.
It's good for them too, actually.
Yep. The
It saves them chasing their own chickens.
neighbour has a bunch of chickens which occasionally go into turbo mode, so it gives me a couple of dozen, so she doesn't eat with the dinner every night anyway. I knew she could vacuum up anything. Shredded paper.
Make sure you use the right sort of baking paper when you do this. I made a mistake once of using greaseproof paper, which apparently my wife tells me is totally incorrect.
Yeah, it has a lower flash point, I think.
Because it's not just that, but when they came out of the oven, they were actually, the sausage rolls were stuck to the paper. So
Right.
when you ate them, you actually ate the paper with them. These go into a 200-degree oven for nominally 30 minutes, but check them after 20.
And perfectly, that light just went out at exactly the time you opened it.
Okay. Check them
We-
after
we
20 to
planned
see how
that.
they're going. And then
How long you want you put time in for?
I'll put on 20.
20. My favourite tool?
Doesn't your oven put a timer on it, John?
I don't know.
You
Possibly.
I'm sure there's a timer on it somewhere.
I'm sure there is. However, that's about my pay grade. It's actually showing
Why
almost.
is it showing 9:30 at night?
Well,
You don't know how to program it.
it's 9. Well, I did do it once, about a couple of years ago. It's 9:26 now. When
That's a
the-
separate
Well,
video.
somewhere it's 9:26.
That's a
when-
separate
when daylight
video.
saving finishes.
It doesn't matter. It's still going to be 9:26. It's going to be 10:26.
We're going to change the time. The ball will go back an hour, and it'll be correct time.
Great, but for 6 months of the year, that thing's correct.
Yep. And twice a day.
That's a separate video, how to program an oven.
Yes. PJ did want to do some sort of a like Better Homes and Gardens, except we're going to call it Real Homes and Gardens. The questions to ask is, why when you're hanging up washing, you pull out a handful of pegs, 90% of them are facing the wrong way? There's life's little mysteries that need to be solved. It's just like when you
I've
drop
never
bread.
noticed, but I'm going to keep an eye out for it now.
When you drop toast on the floor.
I've heard that one before.
Okay.
Butter face down, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's press pause for a bit while we're doing that, and I'll get the chef his glass of reward. Okay, we're back. We've had about 23 or 24 minutes in the oven. Maestro here is putting on his gloves,
We're cooking to colour.
cooking to colour.
We're waiting to see the nice colour on the pastry, and we're happy with that. They're cooked.
Let's open up. This is the big reveal.
Ooh.
I can tell you now, we did actually sneak them around 10 minutes ago. Because this is the first time Rick has used my oven. We're just going to put it onto a beautiful.
And so they don't sweat, let's take them off and put them on an airing rack. As I said before, the magic of this paper is they don't stick.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. We can talk about the crunch, crunch because last week we were off camera talking about crackle in an air fryer.
Yes, yes,
How good's that?
it is. Best way to do it.
Yeah. Which is my
Certainly the best way to finish it off.
second best friend in the kitchen is an air fryer. My third best friend is the rice cooker. My first best friend is over there.
Alison.
Oh, there we go. And
Sorry, I couldn't dress like Alison today,
you
John.
couldn't just like Alison. I was going to put an apron on you.
Certain
but,
standards to maintain.
absolutely. And we're going to ask you that question of why are women so complicated? And that was the answer. That
He's drawing a blank.
Correct answer. We're drawing a
You
blank.
expect me to have an anscer to that?
No.
I haven't lived long enough.
Exactly. So there's, we're going to have that with...
We'll have to get a lady on the show to answer that question.
Ooh, I know one. Well, I know a few, but she might be on it. She's doing a podcast. We may get a little bit of tomato sauce out, or it may be by itself. So, not a lot of best, it's an easy meal. It's a short episode, like we're only over 15 minutes. Not that hard to do. It's a sort of at the level I'm at.
The shorter the episode, the easier the meal.
Absolutely. The better it tastes. That looks magnificent. Mate, appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll see everybody next week.